pepe. Atudang kangaroo, 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 atukundu kangaroo, 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 atudang kangaroo, 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 kangaroo.
ShopRite is your home of low prices this Christmas, with unforgettable savings on everything you need. Stock up this festive season with great deals like 2 kilos of Rice King rice, only $25.99, and 100 mils of Colgate Triple Action toothpaste, just $12.99. Don't miss out on unforgettable savings at the home of low prices this Christmas. Only at ShopRite. Lower prices you can trust. Always.
Morning, Namibia. Morning, grade 4s and 5s. My name is Teacher Kennedy. Welcome to MyZone online school. With me here is Chanel. Before we get into our lesson, let's start by sanitizing. Chanel, let's sanitize. Let's rub outside and in between fingers. All right, today's lesson is on plurals. Okay, boys and girls, let's turn our booklets to page 3, where we are talking about plurals and plural rules. But before we get in deeper into our lesson, let's talk about the competencies. At the end of the lesson, learners should be able to identify and use different types of nouns in plural forms. Yes, by the end of this lesson, I hope everyone will be able to identify, whenever you are reading, be able to identify nouns and be able to change them or use them in their plural forms, various plural forms. Remember last time we talked about 6 rules that are to be followed when we are changing nouns to their plural forms. And we said plural, we are talking about many things. When we are talking about singular, we are talking about only one. The rule number 1 that we talked about is that most of the nouns, they simply add an S when we are talking about them in many, as there are many, or in their plural form. Number 2, if the word ends in CH, SH, SS or double S, S or X, we add an ES when we are pluralizing. Number 3, if the word ends with a vowel and a Y, we add an S. If the word ends in an O, we add ES. Some words ending in an O, we add S in their plural form. There are also other nouns that end with double O, we simply add an S. Let's turn our books to page 4. That's where we are having today's lesson. There we are having 3 new rules for pluralizing nouns. We'll continue from where we left. Rule number 7. What does it say? If a word ends in a Y, we take away the Y and add IES. In other words, I can throw away the Y, forget about the Y, and replace the Y with IES. For example, country. Country is a noun, and it's ending with a Y. When there are more than one countries, I remove the Y. I replace the Y with IES to become countries. Story. Stories. That's rule number 7. Throw away the Y. Replace with IES. Let's go to rule number 8. If a word ends in F, we take away the F and add VES. Take away, the way you take away the Y. If the word is ending with an F, remove. Throw away the F, but replace it with the VES. Let's look at the examples. Example number 1 is wolf. It's ending with F. When there are many wolves, we have replaced F. F is no longer there. We replaced it with VES. Calf, calves. Remember this. There are also irregular plurals that do not follow the rules. Some nouns do not follow these rules, these 9 rules. For example, tooth, it changes completely to teeth. Man with MAN will change completely to MEN, men. Foot, feet. Child, children. Guys, let's remember these rules are very important. Remember, our basic competence is to be able to change nouns and follow the rules, turn them into their plural forms. Let's turn our books to page 5, where we have our activities. Let's start with activity number 1. Fill in the plural form of each of these nouns by following one of the first 6 rules. You can see that there are different nouns ending with the different letters there, meaning to say you need to consider the first 6 rules that we talked about. For example, number 1, we are given an example there. An apple, 1 apple, many apples. We added an S there. House, houses. Then you will do the rest. We've got fish, man, family, hand, bus, tooth, dictionary, monkey. If you have forgotten, you have to refer to the first 6 rules. B, write the following sentences into plural. Remember one thing, is. But many things, one thing, you say is. Many things, we say are. For example, I draw a picture on a paper. We drew pictures on papers. So the word that we have changed to its plural form is paper, to papers, by adding S. Number one is saying, there is a child in front of the tree. How are you going to change that sentence and write the nouns into their plural forms? The noun that we are having there is a tree and child. If I were you, I was going to say, there are children in front of the trees. So you do the rest. Number 2 is saying, I am your best friend. How do you pluralize that one? There is a pen under the book. The first thing is to identify the nouns and be able to change them into their plural forms. Let's continue to page 6. Activity number 2. Activity number 2. Write the plural form of each word under the pictures. Draw a picture of each plural word on the correct carpet so that it matches the correct rule. We are given pictures there, but your task is to write in the plural form. The first picture is, what is that thing that is being shown on the first picture? It's a mouse. Very correct. When there are many, it's mice. Number 2, I'm seeing a sheep. So it's your task, your assignment, to write the plurals of the pictures shown on page 6, activity 2. You have to continue with the pictures that are shown there and follow the instructions. Let's continue. Activity number 3 on page 7. Activity number 3 on page 7. Search for the hidden words and color them in. You are given some guidelines there. The words are below. Girls, heads, stars, buses, boys, moose, mice, babies. You have to look for these words. They are there. For example, in the first column, I am seeing the word boys, the noun boys. I can color that one. So do the same until you finish all the nouns given below. Page 8, activity number 4, words ending in Y, take away the Y and add IES. It's a matter of repetition. The Y rule, where you throw away the Y, replace with IES. Words ending in F or FE, take away the F or FE and replace or add VES. Remember that not all words ending in F get VES. There are some who are or who do not follow the rules. Fill in the plural form of each of these pictures by adding the correct rule form of plurals. We have got a baby there, and we are being shown the pictures of 2 babies. So in other words, baby becomes babies. We are following the Y rule, where we are throwing the Y and replace with IES. We are having the thief there, and there are now many. How do you pluralize it? The F or FE rule, where you are throwing the F or FE and replace with the VES. Thank you so very much. I want to believe that we are all following, because I know you are good boys and girls. Okay, boys and girls, let's turn our books to page 5, where we are having an interesting comprehension passage. And this comprehension passage is full with nouns. Page number 9. They are nouns that are in singular form and some are in plural form. You will be able to identify them. Okay, I'm going to read in your hearing the passage. The topic is robbing the butchery. Mr. Mayber was the best butcher in town. He had tasty loaves of ham and strings of sausages. His best-selling item was the oryx steaks. He cut the steaks in thick slices with his sharp knives. People paid lots of money to get the best meat. One evening, after Mr. Mayber had locked his store, 2 thieves broke in and stole all the money he made that day. People were upset and helped the police to look for the thieves. They found them hiding on someone's roof. They were going to use the money to buy nappies for their babies. The butcher agreed to let them clean his shop for a whole month as punishment. He would provide their babies with nappies, but they would not get paid until they had paid off their debts. The thieves believe there is no better man than Mr. Mayber, who helped them in hard times. Today, they own their factories and sell scarves with butterflies and the ponies on them. They are also helping the poor to keep warm in winter. They do not steal anymore. That's our story. Is that not interesting? And below our passage, remember what I told you. Read for the first time. Go to the questions and read for the second time. There you will be knowing what you are looking for from the passage. Underline all nouns ending in Y. In the plural form, they end in the IES. In the passage, and write them down there. There are many nouns there ending in Y. And there's also many nouns there that are already pluralized by adding IES. Number 2 is saying, underline all the nouns ending in F. In the plural, they end in VES. Number 3, who was the owner of the butchery? What is sold at a butchery? Which meat was his best seller? What bad thing happened one evening? Where did the people find the thieves? Who uses nappies? What was the thieves' punishment? What do the thieves do now? As I'm asking these questions, the answers are clicking into my head because I've read the passage. So, thank you so very much, boys and girls. It has been a wonderful lesson. We have learned all the rules when it comes to pluralizing nouns. And I want to believe you are now able to identify nouns. You are now able to use nouns in their plural forms, and you are also able to use the rules accordingly. Thank you so very much. We have to meet in the next lessons. But before we go, Chanel, the rule says we should what? Sanitize. Let's sanitize, because we've been touching books, tables, yes, and the chalks. So we need to sanitize. And let's not forget to keep the social distance. At least 1.5 meters apart. Bye-bye for now.
Hi everyone, my name is Shashi, I'm back. And you can always stay active throughout the lockdown. You can play with your friends, but keep your distance. like me and my friend. Yay! And you can also talk and sing to be active. Until next time, bye!
Kindness, kind I, Namibia ice. Did I get sister Huldan Navasida? Did I get I call out? Namibia oncology center, Naragrasisen, I come from now. Ti Quedo, bounce I hari, Omsnahari, Umabadang Nahure, Nugu said again, ha ugu, have it again, Nugu said again, ha ugu have. Han are uguha. Hoge bounce I hari. Ida kadi nedi 2019 novel coronavirus sting higusa. Au. Bounce I hari.
It was April 16th, 2016. An earthquake registering 7.8 magnitude on the Richter scale struck the South American nation of Ecuador. Hundreds of people died, thousands remained unaccounted for, and hundreds of thousands more are lacking life's basic necessities, especially those living in the cities of Manta and Pedernales.
No hay agua, no hay luz, no hay víveres para comer.
UNICEF está aquí apoyando en la ciudad de Pedernales en el evento del terremoto que se dio el día domingo en la noche. Ha sido muy impactante ver cómo la ciudad está destruida. Si hablamos en porcentajes, podemos decir que un 90% de la ciudad está destruida.
In these types of humanitarian emergencies, the most helpless always pay the heaviest price. Ecuadorian children are the most needy and the most vulnerable. Many are afraid and unsure of their safety amid the turmoil and chaos in the aftermath of the quake.
Hay mucha afectación en los niños tienen temor de ingresar a sus casas porque sienten que se les va a caer el techo encima. Y también hay mucha angustia de pensar y de ver que sus escuelas han sido destruidas totalmente. Aquí hay 15 escuelas y todas están destruidas y les preocupa mucho el no poder regresar a clases.
According to the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, more than 150,000 children have been affected. Now, it's a race against time to protect them from disease and starvation.
No hay carro para viajar, ningún lado. Ya, entonces, los niños, leche no hay ropa para los bebés, se cayeron casi todas las casas aquí.
Desperate to save lives, food rations have been flown in by the World Food Programme, WFP.
The government of Ecuador, together with the Ecuadorian Army and the World Food Programme, we're trying to assist the most vulnerable areas. We're focusing now mainly in shelters and in hospitals, and we expect to reach hundreds of thousands of people. There's still so much to do.
WFP will be assisting the people of Ecuador for months to come. At least until life returns to some semblance of normalcy. This report was produced by Mary Ferreira for the United Nations.
Hello and welcome to Sport Africa.
The BBC's new weekly show will explore the big sporting issues and questions, like why Africans aren't winning medals in the pool.
I just think it's their mindset.
Meeting established and rising stars.
I could be the Nigerian first Grand Slam winner.
And at the heart of it will be you, the fans, with your passion, your opinions, your stories, and even tests of your sporting knowledge. Go beyond the game with BBC Sport Africa.
Hang all the mistletoe. I'm gonna get to know you better. This Christmas, and as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together. This Christmas, the fireside is blazing bright. We caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Presents and cards are here. My world is filled with cheer, and you. This Christmas, and as I look around, your eyes are shining the town they do. This Christmas, the fireside is blazing bright. We caroling to the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me.
This is VM6, let's do this.
The fireside is blazing bright. We caroling to the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Oh, this Christmas will be a very special kind of Christmas for me and you and love. Come on now, shake your head, everybody shake your head.
In a time of uncertainty, false news, and fear, learn on. While the world scrambles to make new sense, while the experts turn around in circles, trying to find their way back to tomorrow. Learn on. When classrooms become empty cathedrals and the trees start to bear answers, learn on. Learn on until every parent is a teacher and every teacher is a mentor. Learn on until you cross the boundaries of your mind